Okay, it's time for the aviation report. Cleared for takeoff. He is Richard Kaplan.
Thank you, Howie. This week we want to touch base on the hurricane efforts in Florida. As you know, Hurricane Michael decimated Tallahassee, Mexico Beach, along with other parts of the panhandle. A lot of people ask, how do you bring aid into an area where the airports are so vastly affected that the airlines canceled flights? The answer is United States Air Force. The Air Force operates a sizable fleet of C17, C-130, and C-5 Galaxy aircraft. I will explain what each one of these are in a moment. The C-130 is a 4-engine propeller-driven aircraft. It's a turboprop. What it's designed to do is to fly into areas where there's very little or no runways. They can land on dirt runways. It's a STOL aircraft, STOL standing for short takeoff and landing, which means that you don't need a lot of runway for this aircraft to operate. They can carry helicopters, they can carry jeeps, they can carry personnel. Whatever is needed in the field, the C-130 can handle. The next aircraft is the C17 Globemaster. The Globemaster replaced the C-141, which is a 4-engine jet aircraft. It is operated by 4 jet engines, has an unlimited range due to mid-air refuel, and is the workhorse for the United States Air Force, Howie. This is the plane that they would be bringing most likely to Tallahassee because it's short takeoff and landing capable, can land on a dirt runway. I've seen this airplane operate at McGuire Air Force Base. McGuire operates a sizable fleet that's in New Jersey, Joint Naval Air Station Fort Dix. I want to send a shout out to you guys. Awesome job at the show, by the way. I got to go on board this aircraft and see it firsthand, and I can tell you, Howie, they can store a lot of material for the people of Florida. You can bring in fire trucks, helicopters, you can even bring in jeeps. This is a workhorse that is designed specifically for mass casualty situations such as Hurricane Michael. The final aircraft is the C-5 Galaxy. The C-5 is about the size of a Boeing 747. It is a massive airplane. But what it's designed to do is designed to bring in military personnel. It can carry up to 6 M1 Abrams tanks or 6 Apache attack helicopters. In this case, they would probably be bringing Chinook heavy lift helicopters to lift materials off of areas where there's a lot of debris. In total, the Air Force along with the Coast Guard operate these aircraft. Now for the airlines lost a lot of revenue because of this storm. A lot of flights were canceled. So what people naturally are doing is rather than fly into Tallahassee, they can fly into Tampa, they can fly into Jacksonville, they can fly into Miami or Fort Lauderdale. Those are the 4 major airports that were operating at the time of the storm. Secondly, I want to send a shout out to Mason Andrews. We've been following this story, me and Howie, and Mason is finally on his final leg. He landed in Louisiana today. I congratulate him. I can only imagine the adventure you have to tell your family and your loved ones traveling all across the world, the youngest person to do so. That is a huge accomplishment. We wish you kudos and we hope to someday have you on the show to tell your story. I'm sure it's amazing. Lastly, for next week's segment, I want to touch base on the development at John F. Kennedy International Airport. As you may have heard, they plan to invest $13 billion on new terminals and infrastructure for this airport. But what they didn't invest in is more interesting. I'll fill you in on what that is. I'll tell you exactly what that is, and then some next week on Cleared for Takeoff.
Great job, Rich Kaplan.